Q9329-2. The lowest authorized ILS minimums associated with CAT II approaches are A. Decision height, DH, 200 feet and runway visual range, RVR, 2,400 feet, with touchdown zone and centerline lighting, RVR 1,800 feet. B. DH 100 feet and river 1,200 feet. C. No DH or DH below 50 feet and river less than 700 feet, but not less than 150 feet. The correct answer is B. CAT II, Category 2. Approaches are instrument approaches that provide guidance to the pilot for landing in reduced visibility conditions. These approaches have stricter requirements and higher minimums compared to CATI approaches. The lowest authorized ILS minimums for CAT II approaches are defined by two parameters: the decision height, DH, and the runway visual range, RVR. The decision height, DH, refers to the altitude at which the pilot must make a decision to continue the approach or initiate a missed approach if the required visual references are not in sight. The runway visual range, RVR, is a measurement of visibility along the runway, indicating the distance that the pilot can see runway markings or lights. For CAT II approaches, the lowest authorized ILS minimums typically have a lower decision height and a lower runway visual range compared to CATI approaches. This allows for operations in lower visibility conditions. It's important for pilots conducting CAT II approaches to be familiar with the specific minimums prescribed by regulatory authorities and the aircraft manufacturer. Adhering to these minimums ensures the safety of the flight and enables pilots to make informed decisions based on the available visual references and equipment on board the aircraft. 9330. In a 24-hour consecutive period, what is the maximum time, excluding briefing and debriefing, that an airline transport pilot may instruct other pilots in air transportation service? A. 6 hours. B. 8 hours. C. 10 hours. The correct answer is B. According to the FAA, an airline transport pilot may instruct other pilots in air transportation service for a maximum of 8 hours in a 24-hour consecutive period, excluding briefing and debriefing. This means that the pilot may spend up to 8 hours actually instructing other pilots, but they must also spend time briefing and debriefing the pilots before and after the instruction period. The FAA has established these limits to ensure that airline transport pilots are not overworked and that they are able to provide safe and effective instruction to other pilots. 9331. The flight instruction of other pilots in air transportation service by an airline transport pilot is restricted to A. 30 hours in any 7 consecutive day period. B. 7 hours in any 2 consecutive hour period. C. 36 hours in any 7 consecutive day period. The correct answer is C. According to the FAA, the flight instruction of other pilots in air transportation service by an airline transport pilot is restricted to 36 hours in any 7 consecutive day period. This means that the pilot may instruct other pilots for a maximum of 36 hours in any 7-day period, regardless of how the hours are distributed throughout the week. The FAA has established these limits to ensure that airline transport pilots are not overworked and that they are able to provide safe and effective instruction to other pilots. 9351. When a facsimile replacement is received for an airman's medical certificate, for what maximum time is this document valid? A. 30 days. B. 60 days. C. 90 days. The correct answer is B. According to the FAA, a facsimile replacement for an airman's medical certificate is valid for a maximum of 60 days. After 60 days, the pilot must obtain a new medical certificate from an aviation medical examiner, AME. The FAA has established this limit to ensure that pilots are medically fit to fly and that they are not flying with expired medical certificates. 9332. How soon after the conviction for driving while intoxicated by alcohol or drugs shall it be reported to the FAA Civil Aviation Security Division? A. No later than 30 working days after the motor vehicle action. B. No later than 60 days after the motor vehicle action. C. Required to be reported upon renewal of medical certificate. The correct answer is B. According to the FAA, any conviction for driving while intoxicated by alcohol or drugs must be reported to the FAA Civil Aviation Security Division within 60 days of the motor vehicle action. This includes any conviction for driving under the influence, DUI, driving while intoxicated, DWI, or driving while ability impaired, DWAI. The FAA has established this reporting requirement to ensure that pilots are not flying while intoxicated and that they are not a danger to themselves or others.